managing projects as a designer can sometimes be overwhelming, especially if you don't have a proper workflow or process in place. From juggling between projects to growing your design business, you need a proper and efficient workflow to stay organized and productive. While there are many great tools out there that can help you achieve this, many designers still struggle to stay organized. Just think about all the tools and apps you use to manage a design project. You're probably using multiple apps like Google Docs, a task manager, a mood boarding tool, and more to manage just a single project. What if you could bring all this into one central place and use just a single app to manage your project? And not just your projects. What if you can manage your tasks, finances, habits, and client pipeline from a central workspace? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. I'll be walking you through the Notion workspace we use to our manage design projects. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about what Notion is and how does it work. If you're not familiar with Notion, it's a workspace tool that lets you create to-do lists, tables, boards, and more. It's all the productivity apps meshed into a single tool. With Notion, you have an empty canvas that can be used to create anything. Whether it's a simple to-do list page or an advanced finances dashboard, Notion can do it all. I started using Notion when I was frustrated with using so many apps and tools to manage my projects. Once I discovered Notion, there was no going back. The best part about it is that it adapts according to your needs and use cases. This made it a perfect tool for managing my design projects as I didn't feel restrained at all. Let me walk you through the workspace that you can use to manage your design life using Notion. You can download the template of this workspace from the link in the description. This is the homepage of our Notion workspace. As you can see, there are several pages organized into two categories, productivity and business. Let me walk you through each page in detail. First, I'll be going through the CRM page, which is the most important part of this workspace. The CRM page is used to manage all design projects and clients. This page has a table named Pipeline, which contains the list of all active and inactive clients along with prospects and leads. The table has columns to help you fill in all the necessary information about clients and leads. You can add their name, email, status, value, and more. Below the pipeline table is the list of active projects. This list is actually a filtered view of the pipeline table that only displays projects that have a status of project in progress. This helps in organizing active projects and prospects in a simple manner. If you are actively working on a project, you'll need a dashboard to manage its progress and tasks. On clicking a project, you'll find a template named Process Template. Load this template whenever you start work on a project. This template will load two separate dashboards, Lead Development and Project Dashboard. The Lead Development Dashboard consists of everything you'd need to nurture a lead and close the project. Let's take a look at the pages in this dashboard. The first page is the discovery session, where you can document all the information you've received from your client during the discovery session call. It already has a few general questions for you to fill. The next page is the questionnaire, where you collect information about the project from your client. There are already a few templates you can click to create a questionnaire. You can also add your own questions to this page. Once your questionnaire is ready, you just have to share this page with your client and ask them to fill it out. You no longer have to use Google Forms or any other tool for that matter. The cost estimation page lets you figure out the cost of the project. It contains a table where you can add all the tasks required for the project along with your daily rate and the number of days required to complete the task. The table will automatically calculate the cost of the task based on your rate and work days. Once you've added all your tasks, scroll up to the estimated cost table and link your tasks to the table. It will calculate the total cost along with a markup cost to ensure you make a profit on your projects. You can change the markup cost according to your needs. After you've calculated the cost of the project, it's time to prepare and send a proposal to your client. You can do that easily with the proposal page template, where you can add information about the project along with other things such as your recent works, process, cost breakdown, and terms and conditions. This page is designed in a way that you just have to fill it out and export it as a PDF to send it over to your client. No need to waste your time spending an hour designing a proposal in Figma or Canva. Just like proposals, the invoice template also works in a similar fashion. You just have to fill up your information such as the company name, billing address, cost breakdown, and bank details. You can even add a direct PayPal or Stripe payment link as well. Once the invoice is ready, export it as a PDF and send it over to your client. That's how fast and easy it is to close a project with this workflow. So, you've closed the project. Now the real work begins. For this, we've created the Project Dashboard workspace, which contains multiple pages and templates to manage each phase of your project. First, let's take a look at the Project Dashboard, which you can share with clients to keep them in the loop with the process. This page contains a project timeline where you can add the milestones or tasks of your project. Below is an All Tasks table where you can list down all big or small tasks required to complete the project. You can assign tasks to team members or add a deadline to your tasks. If there are tasks that need to be done by your client, you can add them to this table and assign it to your client. On scrolling below, you'll find a set of pages that will help you with the different phases of the project. Let's dive into each page and see what's in there. First, we have the Brand Strategy page where you can document the strategy of your client's business. Whether you're working on a branding project or web design, you can collaborate with your client and fill in this information to have better clarity and overview of the client's business and goals. No matter what kind of project you work on, it's important to create user personas to map out your client's ideal customer. With the User Personas page, you can build multiple user personas with ease. Click on the New button and you'll find a user persona template. Click on it and it'll load all the essential information you'd need to build a persona. You can add a persona image, demographic information, biography, goals, needs, personality, and more. This template is very useful to quickly create user personas and define the ideal customer of your client's business. Up next is the Brand Guidelines page, which consists of several inner pages. These pages are used to document all the brand guidelines and store any brand media for the project. The Logo page can be used to store all the brand logos for the project along with guidelines on how to use the logo. With the Colors page, you can store the brand colors and define primary and secondary colors along with shades and hues. For typefaces, the Typography page is useful for storing fonts and defining the type scale for your project. The Tone and Voice page is used to document the brand voice and tone to be followed for the project. The Iconography and Illustration pages are used for icons and illustrations along with their respective usage guidelines. The Photos and Motion page has a similar use as well, where you can store all the brand photos and videos to be used for the project and write any guidelines on their usage. Overall, the Brand Guidelines page brings all the entire brand style guide under one roof. This is very useful when you're working with a team or on large projects that require extensive guidelines. Next is the User Research page, where you can document all the research you conduct for the project. Let's say you're working on a web design project. Then, you can document all the ideas or brand research for the project on this page. The Moodboard page is where you can add images and video inspiration for your project. Since moodboarding is a very extensive process, the page has been categorized into different categories for mood boards. This way, you can have separate pages for collecting inspiration for layout, typography, colors, and more. Many designers use different tools for moodboarding, which becomes another headache. With this workflow, you can bring all your moodboarding process to Notion. During a design project, there are multiple calls or meetings with your client. And it's important to keep note of the decisions made during these calls. The Call Notes page lets you document all of this stuff. This page contains a table where you can add entries for each call. Once you add a new entry, click on the Project Meeting template, which loads all the essential information you'd need to document your call. This includes things like the call agenda, notes, and a to-do list to list down any tasks to be done after the call. The Call Notes page alone can improve your project workflow and save you countless hours of remembering all the things you discussed during a call with your client. The Content Sharing page is very useful for projects where you need content from your client. One particular use case of this page is for web design projects where you need content for the website. You can share this page with your client and request them to either paste their content to this page or embed a Google document. This way, even if the client has their content on Google Docs, you can still access it from one single page, thus saving you time. The design sharing page has a similar use as well, where you can add or embed design files for sharing. There are template buttons for various file types in the page, allowing you to embed design files with a single click. Presenting designs and collecting feedback is one of the most tedious tasks for many designers. That's because sharing your design and then requesting feedback can take a lot of time, especially if the client is busy. That's why I made the design feedback page that helps in presenting your design professionally and collecting feedback easily. This page has a template named Collect Design Feedback. Once you click on this button, it'll create a new page where you can present your design. There are buttons that let you embed or add your design work. But that's not all. You can write a description of the work you're presenting or insert a Loom video for a better presentation. And to collect feedback for the design you just shared with your client, there are questions just below the description. These are some general questions you'd normally ask your client when requesting feedback. The client can give feedback by either writing answers to these questions or add their own Loom video feedback based on their preference. Lastly, the development and handoff page is to share any account credentials or documents as part of the project. Let's say that you've designed a new website and now want to share its access with your client. With this page, you can add account credentials easily. And, if you want to share any documents such as a style guide, you can do it on this page. Essentially, this page can help you organize any information to be exchanged between you and the client during project completion and handoff. That's all about the project dashboard in the CRM. The best part about these pages is that you can create them for each individual client or project you add to your pipeline. You don't have to copy or paste any of the pages for each client. Just add an entry and load the process template. Now, let's take a look at some of the other pages in our workspace. Let's check out the social media calendar. As a designer, it's important to showcase your work and create content on different platforms. Unfortunately, many designers fail to keep up with their social media strategy because they don't have the proper workflow in place. With the social media calendar page, you can manage your entire content creation process with ease. It has individual pages for each platform where you can plan your content strategy and set goals. Besides that, there are some resource pages as well to help you with your content production. First is the image sizes page, which is a reference guide of all the image dimensions used on various social platforms. The second is a hashtag database where you can list down all the hashtags and even create hashtag sets that can be copied instantly. On the social media calendar page, you can plan and schedule content for various platforms. There's an ideas board just below the calendar where you can list down content ideas. Once an idea is ready to be scheduled, you can simply drag it onto the calendar. After dragging the content to the calendar, you can create the post copy by loading any of the content templates. There are templates for reels, carousels, images, stories, and more. Each content template is designed specifically for that content format so that you can create your content faster. With this advanced social media calendar, you can say goodbye to any other social media calendar tool you were using. Having your content creation process right inside Notion will help you create content more efficiently and free up your toolbox. Managing finances with our Notion Workspace is very simple and efficient as well. With this finances page, you can add your income, expenses, and subscriptions, and view your total balance. Let's take a deeper dive into this page. The finances page has 3 tables: income table, expenses table, and balance table. In the income table, you can add all the income you generate and categorize them accordingly. The same goes for the expenses table, where you can add all your expenses. Both the tables have relevant columns to help you add more context to each entry. You can add things such as payment date, invoice receipt, month, and more. Let's take a look at the balance table. This table automatically calculates your total income and expenses and shows you the profit. It also has a profit goal column where you can add your goal, which then visually shows your progress. Remember that for each entry you add to the income or expenses table, you have to link to the balance table by filling the related to column. One last thing about the finances table is the subscription tracker, which is a filtered view of the expenses table. This filtered view only shows expenses that are categorized as subscriptions in your expenses table. With this view, you can get a clear look at all your active subscriptions and keep a track of them. Now, let's take a look over the productivity section of this workspace. In this section, there are a lot of pages that will help you with self-growth and productivity. The first page is the Action Center, which is basically a to-do list. On this page, you can add all your tasks to the Tasks Backlog table. The first table shows only the tasks that you have to do today, whereas the table below lists all your tasks regardless of the due date. Add all your tasks to the second table and assign them dates. The table also has a view to let you see all the complete and incomplete tasks. Managing tasks should always be simple and fast. Instead of using a complex system for your to-do list, this simple table will help you get more work done faster. Everyone has some habits they follow to become a better person. These habits could either be related to work or your personal life. The Habit Tracker page lets you track all your habits from a single table. Just add a new column for any new habit you want to track and check them off by adding new entries to the table for each day. Again, this table is very simple, making it easy for you to form new habits and, most importantly, follow them consistently. Habits that require big commitment should be treated as goals. The Goals page lets you keep track of all your life goals. Whether you want to run 100 miles in a month or just want to create a huge piece of artwork, you can use the Goals Tracker page. This page has a board where you can create a new goal and fill it up by adding information such as goal type, goal length, status, and more. To achieve any goal, you need to work on it daily. For that, you can use the new goal template that will load all the necessary information to help you achieve the goal. Just click on the template button and it'll fill the page with things like your goal objective, the motivation behind the goal, a goal tracker, and more. This is very important because many people have ambitious goals, but when it comes to action, they fail miserably. With this template in place for each goal, you'll not only work on your goals but have a higher chance of achieving them. If you like reading books, then you're gonna love the book tracker in this workspace. From this page, you can track all the books you've read or want to read. The page has a reading list board where you can add books that you're currently reading or plan to read. But that's not it. For each book you add, you can write down the notes in its entry to actually remember what you've read. Oftentimes, people forget what they read. With the Add Notes template, you can now instantly create chapters of each book and take notes quickly. Now, you'll have a complete database of books you've read along with important notes and takeaways from each book. The last page of our Notion workspace is the Daily Journal. On this page, you can journal your day, which is a great way of self-reflection and keeping your thoughts organized. Just click on the new button to add a journal. For each journal entry, you can add 3 words to define your day, add your effectiveness, and give a happiness rating. This makes journaling very easy as it takes literally less than a minute. But if you're someone who wants more than this, you can use our journal template. Once you add a new entry, click on the Add New Journal button, which will load a template consisting of headings to add more information about your day. You can write what you're grateful for, how you're feeling, your accomplishments, and more. This template serves as a good starting point for anyone who is either new to journaling or already has a habit of journaling. So, that covers it all for our Notion workspace. If you're a designer struggling to manage projects or want to get everything organized, this Notion workspace is perfect for you. It will help you not only boost your productivity but also work in an efficient manner. You no longer have to juggle around multiple apps to manage your creative life. If you're interested in organizing your creative life, click the link in the description and grab your copy of this workspace. The template of this workspace is available on our Gumroad store for download. I hope you liked this video and found it useful. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos on how to become a better designer.